Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Dominic, and today you're tuning into the Comic Book Report, where we review comic books and graphic novels so you can get an idea of what to read. And it's a new month, which means we're going to take some time to look back on last month's comic book haul. Admittedly, August 2023 was a little bit lighter for me as far as the comic book haul front, but I definitely picked up some goodies that I want to share with all of you. But before we dive in, I just want to go ahead and shout out our channel sponsor, OrganicPriceBooks.com. If you're looking to pick up your own comic book collected editions, I definitely encourage you to check out their website. You can find a link in the description for this video. If you find something you like, you can even use my discount code at checkout, TheComicBookReport, to get $2 off of your order. Please note if you use my affiliate link or code to make a purchase, I will earn a small commission, but it's a fantastic way to support the channel. Thank you for considering. Now let's jump into August 2023's haul. First up, in no particular order, Robin and Batman by Geoff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. This is from DC Comics, of course, and this is a book I had been wanting to check out for some time. It is a standard size hardcover, and it's only 3 issues long. I know for many that can be a deterrent for picking up a collection like this, just its brevity, but I would highly encourage you, if you're interested in Batman and Robin or these creators, this is not a book to miss. Essentially, it is a Robin Dick Grayson origin story, but it's done in that unique style visually from Dustin Nguyen, the kind of watercolor distressed look. I love his more grayscale color palette, especially for all the characters in Gotham. It really punches out when you have the Robin costume, the yellows and the reds and all of that against that kind of more gray color palette. Really a beautiful book here. I love what they did with his origin. I feel like Lemire really explored the kind of internal life of Dick Grayson, this coming of age story, trying to reconcile all of these emergent parts of his personality and who he would become as a young man, but also as someone who was going to be a costume vigilante and someone who was really trying to sift through his own personal tragedies and trying to figure out his new kind of household dynamic with Bruce Wayne, Batman, and of course the loyal butler, Alfred Pennyworth. This is just such a fantastic story. I did actually review it on my channel recently if you'd like a more full picture of what this story is about, but I was so happy to pick this up. I was really excited to finally give it a read when I found it for a good price, but highly recommend Robin and Batman. And hey, while you're listening, I know it's earlier in the video, but if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I highly encourage you to do so. I know I'd love having you as a watcher. I love doing videos like this every month, and also things like comic book reviews. Every so often I'll go to a comic book store, I'll do comic book lists, things like that. Anyway, thank you for considering. Now let's continue with the haul. Next on our list, another Bat-related book, Batman the Knight by Chip Zdarsky and Carmine Di Giandomenico. Right from the jump, I have to admit, this collection snuck up on me to the point where I had no idea this was coming out monthly. I hadn't even really heard about it. I knew Zdarsky was attached to the ongoing Batman title at the time of this recording, and I even read the first arc, Batman Failsafe, and really loved it. I've really enjoyed Zdarsky throughout the years. I loved his run on Howard the Duck, Marvel 2-in-1, what I've read of Daredevil, and so much more. And I've really enjoyed what he's done with Batman so far, but I had no idea there was this other kind of side miniseries happening, Batman the Knight. So basically, if you don't know what this is a standard size hardcover collection that includes the entirety of the 10-issue kind of mini maxi series, and essentially it is a Batman kind of coming of age origin story, but particularly it focuses on the time where Batman is growing up. He's kind of in his young adulthood, and he's traveling the world trying to gain all the skills he knows he will need to fight his war on crime back in Gotham City. So it has him traversing the world trying to find the world's foremost experts or masters in different crafts and disciplines and things like that, like combat and kind of stealth and trickery, things like illusions and theatricality, all of these different disciplines. And he basically hops around the world. We go country to country. Each issue kind of has its own focus, its own trainer, and we get to see Bruce Wayne get slowly closer to becoming Batman. I think Zdarsky has a really great grasp on character here, and I consider this to be essential Batman reading now. If you're looking at a lot of his origin books, I really like things like Batman Year One. I like some early Batman stories too, like Long Halloween, of course. But this, I think, is really good to slot right in there before like a Batman Year One, to get that training, to really explore this kind of untapped region of his history. I think it's just really well done, and this is definitely one I'd recommend to any Batman fan out there. I also did a full review of this on my channel, so you can seek that out as well. Okay, next up on our August 2023 haul video, another DC book, Justice League New 52 Omnibus Volume 1. This is largely considered the Geoff Johns Justice League run. There are other writers and creators attached to this work, but it's mostly Geoff Johns, and this run is spectacular. I'm so happy to finally get the omnibuses this month. I know for me, I've read a good portion of this run, at least most of the first half, but I've never had an opportunity to read all of it, and I understand that some of the back half of this run are some of the most notable stories. Can't wait to jump in. This era, the New 52, was kind of a soft relaunch of a lot of the DC titles that happened, I think, around 2010, give or take a year or two. But this was right around when I started personally collecting comic books myself, and so I really just latched on to a lot of the New 52. I know this can be a polarizing time in comic book history, particularly for DC Comics fans, but I really loved it. It was a perfect on-ramp to really jump into so many of these titles and characters I had heard about or been curious for. And again, this run is, I think, among the top tier of the New 52 that I've had the opportunity to read. I really loved like the Azzarello, Chiang Wonder Woman. I loved the Snyder Capullo Batman era. I love this, and there are so many other fun titles. But at any rate, the bulk of this run here is collected across 2 omnibuses. This is the Volume 1. I had a little bit of discretionary spending this month, and I wanted something just fun I could latch onto, and I found a really good deal on this, so I had to go ahead and snag it. So happy again to have this. I love the art throughout it. The first arc or so, off and on, has art by Jim Lee, who is my absolute favorite comic book artist, and some of the images we get in here are just gorgeous. This also includes things like the Throne of Atlantis storyline, which is such a great Aquaman story. We have a couple of the Aquaman tie-in issues as well. A really fantastic book that I'm still making my way through. It even includes like the Shazam kind of backup stories that gives you like the origin story of Billy Batson's Shazam in the New 52 universe. Anyway, this is a packed out powerhouse of a book. I'm currently reading it and thoroughly enjoying it. If you'd like to see a review of this in the future, definitely let me know in the comments, or let me know what you think about this book. Anyway, good stuff. Okay, keeping the ball rolling, Justice League, the New 52 Omnibus Volume 2. So this is the back half of that Justice League run I was talking about. It has stories like Forever Evil, The Dark Side War, so many good stories that I've never had the opportunity to read, and I'm so excited to get to it. I'm still reading through the contents of Volume 1. Most of it's a reread for me, but it's been so fun. I think after that, I will try to make my way through this as well. I love that I get to go through this run finally, especially because this is one of the first titles I ever picked up. The fact that I actually get to go back and finish this run proper in this awesome oversized hardcover format. Omnibuses, gotta love them. This book came in, I actually got this as an early anniversary gift from my beloved wife. So excited, and again, it just rounds out that collection, that run really nicely. So eager to dive in. We have some more gorgeous pencil work throughout this, just flipping through it. Again, I can't speak to this one quite as much because I really haven't read a lot of the content included in here. In fact, I haven't really read anything from this back half of the run. But again, from what I understand from reviews, some of the best story arcs from this Geoff Johns Justice League era occur in this omnibus, and this one is just gigantic. I love the way they put this together. It's very similar in formatting to the Volume 1, so it looks great on a bookshelf. You get a sense of kind of cohesion and consistency with the omnibuses. Really good job, DC. I think that these are beautiful books that I hope to have for a long, long time. This is another one too. If you've read all of this run, if you have this omnibus perhaps, let me know in the comments what you think. I think so far I'm nothing but excited about it, so if I have to temper my expectations, definitely let me know. But again, very excited to have it. It is funny to me that this is such a DC heavy haul month. I really go back and forth with this. I feel like the other month I had almost no DC books, and here we go, most of my books this month were DC. At any rate, excited to have these omnibuses, and now we can get going to the last item on the haul. Rounding out my comic book haul for August 2023, we have the Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 4 from Marvel Comics. This is an omnibus reprint and one I have long anticipated. I have volumes 1 through 3 and volume 5, and I've just been missing this key chapter for so long. When I first heard they were reprinting it this year, I could not wait. It was definitely one of my most anticipated books this year. This captures the death of Gwen Stacy story arc. We have the first appearance of the Punisher and so many other notable issues that this is just an essential collection if you're a fan of that Silver and kind of Bronze Age Spider-Man era like I am. This is just such a decisive chapter in Peter Parker's life. I have been so eager to revisit some of these issues again. I am very, very fond of this era and this amazing story we have with the death of Gwen Stacy. So having it in an oversized hardcover like this, it's just a dream. To put it into my bookshelf and complete that volume 1 through 5, it just looks and feels great. And frankly, I was just excited to pick it up. This is my only Marvel book this month, which for a Marvel man like me is quite surprising. No indies either. At any rate, I guess it was just a great month for DC, but this one is not to be overlooked. Like I said, I'm such a huge fan of this era of Spider-Man. This is like the tail end of the Silver Age in many ways. Some people actually have the death of Gwen Stacy as kind of the deciding milestone benchmark that separates out the Silver Age from the Bronze Age. I'm not sure how official that is or not, but in my mind, that is kind of how I break it down myself. This is such a pivotal time in comic book history. For that, if no other reason, I think that this book is just such an essential to have in the collector's library, particularly if you are a fan of comic book history or Spider-Man. A lot of great one-off issues here as well, but the kind of death of Gwen Stacy Goblin issues are some of my absolute favorite. I think Punisher is definitely a good one too to have in here, the first appearance. And again, there are so many others like I mentioned earlier, but this was a long-awaited reprint. Thank you so much, Marvel. I was so thankful to finally have this. A definite pre-order from me. Okay, and that's going to do it for my August 2023 comic book haul video. I only got about 5 books this month, 3 omnibuses though, so definitely thankful. I got a gift in here. Just really good. I really was excited to read Robin and Batman, like I mentioned earlier. That's a book that's been on my wish list forever. Along with this Justice League run, to have an opportunity to make my way through it, beginning to end, I'm ecstatic to finally do that. To complete my first 5 volumes of those Amazing Spider-Man omnibuses, this again was just such a banner month, so I'm really appreciative here. But let me know in the comments what you think of this haul, if you've read any of these titles, what you think in general. I'd also love to hear, what did you pick up this past month in the comic book world? What are you hoping to pick up this coming month? I always love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. It means the world. And until next time, this has been the Comic Book Report. Please don't forget to leave a like and maybe check out one of my other videos on your way out. Thank you so much. Have a good one.